Hey, this is Corey and Matt from Trivium.
And you're listening to Linea Rock.
Welcome for the first time to Matt and Corey from Trivium Band. Today here in our studio for the first time in the Linea Rock program. Hi.
Hi, grazie mille. Come va?
Molto bene, very well, thank you. 15 October will be the Trivium Day because the release of the sixth album of the band, the title is Vengeance Falls. In my opinion, as first listening, the sound is just a little more heavier than before the preview album. This is my opinion.
Oh, I like that opinion.
Okay, when you start to write the songs of this album, many months ago?
Yeah, we probably started writing, probably the first song idea I can think of was the title track, Vengeance Falls. I believe that song we had maybe about a month or so after In Waves came out. So we started writing from then till we went into the studio. So it was about a year and a half process of writing all the material.
Mm-hmm. And in which studios you had recorded the album?
The album was recorded at David Draymond from Disturbed's house.
Okay.
So it's I don't know if the studio has an official name, but I believe his production company, he has an official production company.
So you nominate the producer, and for this album you choose David from Device, Disturbed. How you meet him for the first time? Probably sometimes you play again with Disturbed or not.
In 2005, we opened up for Danzig in Chicago, and at that show, David Draymond was there. He came up to us and expressed the fact that he really dug our band and he was a fan of our band. That was really cool for all of us because we'd been fans of Disturbed since The Sickness. So about once a year, we'd meet randomly at a festival or something. And then 2011, we did Mayhem together. On the Mayhem tour, we had a finished copy of In Waves. We decided to give a copy to David since he'd been a fan of the band. And when he checked it out, he said that he'd never seen such a massive jump between any of our records, and he felt like songwriting-wise, we've really become to something special. So he said that he felt that if the five of us worked together, we could make a truly amazing record. So when we learned from him that he had a huge part to do with the Disturbed production and the Device production, we knew it was definitely a great move to go with him.
David has partially changed it or not your way to sing, giving advice in this album?
For me, and for David, first of all, a big thing with this record was to not change what we were. He said, I know what you guys are as a band, and what I want to do and help you guys do is exemplify what you do best and evolve what you do best. And one of the things that we really wanted to ensure was that on this record, I sounded more like Matt Hafey than I ever had. Yeah. David said he wanted this to be the iconic, this sounds like you. So throughout all the years of touring and playing shows and releasing records, I feel like my vocals have gotten stronger. I've had a couple vocal coaches here and there, but the biggest vocal coach I've ever had was David Draymond. And when he taught me these skills that he knew from being classically trained in vocals, proper singing technique, different little abilities that you could throw into the voice to really hone in on what you are, it helped me into, I guess, finding the voice that you hear on the record. Mm-hmm. On this record, there's no auto-tune, there's no digital manipulation of the voice. It's all me. Everything I did on the record, I'll do live.
And how you worked with the guitar sound on this album? Also, in this case, David helped?
We got the gear that we've always kind of used and are comfortable with, know the sound that's part of our guitar tone and just the overall sound of the band, which is pretty much stems from just a PV 5150 original block lettered amp. Yeah. So we got one of those, and that was pretty much like we just plugged into that, dialed it up, and it was ready to go in like a few minutes. And then once we went into mixing the record and everything started to come together with the drum sound, the bass and everything, we tweaked and redid some guitars with a Kemper amp profiler just so the guitars fit with everything else, and we had everything there that might have been missing due to the fact the other instruments became bigger and sounding better in the mixing process. But the tone's pretty much, the same idea of what we tracked with. We just kind of enhanced it in the mixing process.
Okay. About the lyrics of the album, are there any events that inspire you?
All the time. With this record, it was really about addressing the atrocities that human beings commit to human beings. Anywhere you are in the world, you can see human beings harming other human beings, and that's never okay, no matter what. A big thing with this band, we've always pushed and preached acceptance of all styles of people, no matter the walks of life. Yes, this record is dark. Yes, this record is angry, and I find that it's important to address the dark, negative aspects of life. And the best way for a human being, I find, to channel the feelings, to channel the way they feel about those things, is to express it in something something creative, whether art, poetry, lyrics, a skill, a hobby, a skill set, something in order to get those vibes out from yourself. Because I find that when people hold on to those, it leads them to hurting themselves or those around them. And I want people to see with this album that it doesn't necessarily have a happy ending lyrically. However, the positive message is the fact that I was able to create something positive out of these negative feelings of what I see happening around the world today and what I see happening within myself.
Okay. We can talk about the video clips. Okay. Your video clips are often cinematographic. I think, for example, the songs Built to Fall, Throes of Perdition, for example. How you release a new one video for this album and will follow the way of those videos?
We got a video for the first single, Strife.
Strife.
That we filmed before we left for our last festival run in Europe. Hasn't come out yet. Should be coming out anytime soon.
Next week, I think.
Next week or so. It still has a cinematic vibe, but we kind of brought it back. This record seemed like the right thing, vibe-wise, for the visual side of things, was to bring back that performance element of the videos where it shows the band playing, shows the energy of the band performing the song, but instead of just being a straight performance video of a band in a room and you just, the shots change, there's added cinematic visuals and stuff that our producer Ramon added in to reflect the song and the vibes of the album. So it's a little bit performance video, but a little bit more to it than a standard performance video.
Okay. One of the features included in all your album is to have one or two long time song. Perhaps only in the preview album there is no long. Also in this new, the last tracks called Wake conclude the album, and it's a more long song. It's a characteristic of the band.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, there certainly are stylistic characteristics of our band that you can see across all the records. Like, I find that when one listens to Vengeance Falls, you can hear all the ingredients from all 5 records previous to it, which I think that...
Born naturally, this.
Yeah,
right,
exactly,
okay.
yeah. So you can see the ingredients from all 5 records within the final record. And yes, we do like to have songs that are concise and to the point and shorter, but we do like to also have our songs that have multiple riffs, multiple solos. Incineration, The Broken World has 2 guitar solos and a bass solo in the same song. So Paolo is
like
actually...
the 70s, the band of the 70s.
Exactly, yeah, with just tons of guitar pyrotechnics and fireworks going on. And with the final track, we felt that it was an appropriate time to have a song that was lengthier, that told a much longer story than a few of the other tracks.
Okay. Looking at the cover of the album, right? This is the cover of the album. Is a design, I think, fantasy technology. There is a relationship with the title, The Vengeance Fall.
With the title, with the artwork, what it was is we gave all the song titles, all the lyrics, and all the demos, and a couple visionary descriptions of where we sort of wanted to go to the artist Brent White. And what he created is what you see. Amazingly, the pictures that came in his head from seeing everything that was going on with this record was that. And so essentially the very first draft of the Vengeance Falls cover stemmed from that into the final version. And for me, looking at that, it's the metaphorical representation of the entire vibe of the record. It captures and displays what's happening lyrically.
Entering the center of the earth or the planet.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's amazing. So that's the metaphorical representation of vengeance.
When you look at a paint, so every people can have the particular...
Their own definition.
Yes.
Exactly. And that's what I love. I love when people can interpret our stuff however they see fit.
Like listen a song.
Mm-hmm.
It's
Exactly.
the same, right?
Exactly.
Okay. Matt, in 2005, you were involved in Roadrunner United, right? The project of the label for the Celebrate 25th anniversary. You were one of the 4 captains and choosing musician and writing 4 songs. If you could create a new superstar band, what could you be, right, musicians?
Oh, dang.
It's
Of
difficult.
Roadrunner bands or any band ever?
Any band.
Freddie Mercury from Queen on vocals, for
Today
sure.
was born Freddie Mercury, in this day.
Yeah, I would say Freddie Mercury on vocals, for sure. Chuck Schuldiner from Death on rhythm guitar. Who else? I might need your help on this one.
Corey for another guitar.
If I had to pick a lead guitar player for a supergroup, I'd pick Marty Friedman.
No, I guess it could be anyone. That's right. Yeah, anyone.
remain bass and drums? It's difficult.
Dang, good
I think
question.
bass, you could probably, maybe like a good one would be like Steve Harris.
Yeah, Steve
Yeah,
Harris
Steve.
from Iron Maiden for sure. All right, so
Right.
Freddie Mercury, Marty Friedman, Steve Harris, and
Now
drummer.
you need a drummer.
Okay, perfect.
Dave Lombardo.
That'd be good.
Okay, Dave. Okay,
Yeah.
oh, perfect. The last month, 15 of August, is a strange day. Not strange day, is a holiday day.
Yeah, we played a show
in
on
Italy.
that day,
Yes,
yeah.
you play Pinarella di Cervia. You play live. It's a strange location,
Mm-hmm.
probably because many people go in vacation in that place.
Mm-hmm.
And you play live also some new songs during the show.
Yes, we did. We played Strife and
Strife.
Brave the Storm, and during Strife, the entire crowd sang the guitar part from the intro.
But now, when go out the new album, start a real long tour for many time.
Yeah, we get back. We fly back home tomorrow, and then next Wednesday we're on a plane to fly out to the first show of our U.S. tour, which is kind of like the the official kind of start for the album cycle, since the record comes out on that tour. So starts then, and then we do September, October in the U.S., fly to Japan, play Loud Park Festival, come back, and then November, December we're doing a second leg of the U.S. tour, and then beginning of next year is January, February, returning to Europe, and then there's Australia, South Africa, Asia, and it's
Whoa.
just